It is my great pleasure this morning because we have a music royalty joining us on Morning Rush. It's been a bit of an honor sabbatical. We'll find out why. It's been 12 years since we've had something new, but she's back. She's a veteran performing artist, Dudu Manhenga. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
We've missed you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chichi. Well, I'm here now. Good morning, and thank you for having us. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
No, you've got a lot of explaining to do. We'll get to you. But she's here with her husband, Blessing, who's also a drummer. Blessing,
No, it was just a season.
Yeah.
You can go just look through what we have done, what we are doing at that current moment, and where we wanted to go.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good break.
No, I also understand you guys are celebrating 25 years of marriage. That's
Yes.
absolutely congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
That's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Like,
Do you know, we met when we were kids. I was 19, he was 26.
Yeah.
And I've turned 43. He recently turned 50. I think he's the most good-looking 50-year-old in the whole
You
world.
guys both look good.
Yeah, we thank God.
I mean, just quickly before we talk about the music and everything in between, like, what's the secret? Because I think a lot of people now, especially with the younger generation, marriages are falling apart. What has been the secret for you guys in terms of having such a long-lasting marriage? 25 years.
Yeah. Do you want to take that first?
Okay, I'll take a bit and then you finish. Firstly, it's just being friends. I think our relationship started as best friends. We would sit and talk about everything, anything and nothing, and for hours and hours and hours. Before we even knew that we were going to be in courtship and all that.
But it was crazy also, right? Yeah. Because in 3 weeks we knew that we were going to get married.
Yeah.
When we met, 3 weeks.
The chemistry was like...
It was just intense. And how we met was also absolutely magical. We had Mega Studios on 2nd Street and just
behind us. Yeah.
Just behind us. And I was opening the door to go out. He was opening the door to come in to hear the singer who was singing. I'm like, holla.
And 25 years later.
And 25 years later, and four good Africans after. And I think he's spoken about friendship. And I think the other thing is to just get each other. Yeah. And a lot of forgiveness, a lot of default. We have a default position. I love you. When I'm telling you what you're doing wrong, it's not about you, but it's about what you're doing wrong. So our default position, everything that I'm doing is because I love you.
Look, I'm a big fan of this. I think you just told me step away. You saw the teamwork coming through, and you can sort of understand how they've been able to last 25 years. But let's talk about Dudu, the performing artist. You've got a new album coming up, but you've starved us 12 years, more than a decade.
I hope you'll be hungry enough to consume. Yeah.
Let's talk about, first of all, why did it take you so long to come back? And the album title, Vintage, what's that about?
Okay, so like he said, it was a season. I mean, it's public knowledge that we went through a tough season at some point, and it's important after such a big hit, you need to step back.
Yeah.
You can't just carry on wounded, and some things just obscure your view. So we had to take a step back, but we've also been serious in ministry. I don't know if, we've been in ministry. Yep. We are running a school together. Where we're taking children who are underprivileged. We have grade ones who are like 14 years old that we took from the community, and we're running a school. So there's been a lot of stuff that we were unpacking. And so now this speaks to the album Vantage, to say vantage point, like where we are, where we can see the whole city. And I think that growth has made me begin to see life in a wider spectrum. And certainly as a family, we have grown to not only focus on ourselves, but to see life from a wider view, because we have experienced all the things that can ever be experienced on this earth.
You talk about the album Vantage and how, the experiences over this gap there, or this sabbatical that you've taken to focus on your ministry and the other things that were happening in your life. What are some of the underlying themes in the album?
Most of it is about just being able to pick yourself up and reposition. an understanding of how no matter how many things can go wrong, there's always a start. So the album will inspire a lot of people who probably have lost their way a little bit and they're saying, I want to realign. There's another song that challenges families to really raise their children well without fear. And it's called Asukuhloniphi, Siyagwesaba, and it's talking to the dad to say, you know what, we really don't respect you. We are afraid of you because this man is a raging bull when he gets to the home. And so he is happy seeing everyone just subdued, but he thinks it's respect, yet it's fear. And so he's not raising his family well. So it's all of these things that from the journey that we're sharing. And there's a lot of worship as well, because we have really set our minds to understand that God is one who has brought us up. So that's what you should look out for.
And Blessing, I know you're a drummer, you're a musician in your own right.
Yes.
Looking at maybe the sound of this album, how would you describe the sound of this Vantage album?
The sound is fresh in terms of its own vibe from where we are coming from. I think there's a lot of maturity. When we started, we were like young, and you want to do all sorts of gimmicks to make the sound rich, but we were young. The texture would tell you that you're young. But then now we've gone through a lot after having been worked with the different artists from Oliver Mtukudzi to Tango Kasando and Willem Tide and different artists, Chioneso Marai and all that. So we then go to a place where we've sort of like collected a certain sound that we say this is what we want to sound like. Though it's gospel, because sometimes people put gospel music in a certain pattern, but we have decided to keep it Afro Jazz with its own texture. So it's going to be nice. So
it's a mature sound, Afro Jazz?
Absolutely, absolutely.
At the top of the interview, we did speak about your marriage, 25 years. I understand you did highlight that you've also been focusing on your family.
Yes.
And I understand they've got a part to play in this album outside of Blessing as well.
So now I think I was making a joke the other day and I was saying to someone, maybe the reason why we took a break was that we're waiting for our kids to grow up.
Okay.
So like, they can be part of the BB line. So the voices, our children are part of the singers that have sung. They've done such a great job. And when you see the first music video we released, you see them there on stage and all grown. And it's amazing. And they're really pushing and excited to be working with us. I think, it's a new journey.
How many kids do you have?
4.
What are their names?
4. So we have Zolega, Miss Zozo, and we have Mongameli, Tatenda, and then Dumoluhle Kudzaishe, Nalutande Tinashe. So we have the 4 kids, and then the youngest one is a mean drama, like
taking after the dad.
Taking after the dad.
And Blessing, speaking to that, obviously this is a shared passion you've enjoyed with Dudu over the last 25 years of your marriage. Now, how challenging or how enjoyable has it been to incorporate the rest of your family? Have the kids also been passionate about it, or you guys are like,
that's interesting. Okay, from the beginning, we actually agreed that when we then have kids, we are not going to force them to do what we want them to do in terms of career guide. We then saw them coming in slowly. At some point, they were so interested in just playing the instruments without singing. But we were surprised that from last year, they are more into singing than playing the instruments. And we are actually enjoying that. They've actually put in work themselves. Then it became easy for us to then say, okay, fine. So now let's fine tune you, because they've picked it up.
So it's just polishing.
Though from the second born and the third born, one is into rugby, the other one is into soccer. but they still love music, and they play, the third born plays keyboard, Dumoluche, and then Monga Mel is into beatboxing, and
So it's a family affair.
So it's a family
and
affair.
we're looking at visuals, I think. Is this from the video you guys were shooting?
Yes, yeah.
So those are some of the visuals.
Those are the cubs there, the four of them.
Oh, the four of the Cubs. There we have the four of the Cubs. So which song were you guys filming for?
That's Munoti Disisa.
And what's that song about?
So Munoti Disisa is just a marvel at God's love.
Yeah.
That after you make such a mess, and God gives you a second chance and a third chance and another chance, and He's willing to clean us up as we go along. Just the grace of God.
Yep.
And that's what Munoti Disisa is about.
All right, and obviously Vantage, that's the album we've waited. It's here. When is it out? Where can we find it? Where can we listen to it? Where can we buy it? All the things.
So in a week we are going to be launching the music video and the song Munoti Disisa.
Yep.
And then count down 2-3 more weeks, all the music will be available online. So we are pushing.
Yeah.
We are pushing.
All right, super excited. So that is Dudu Manhenga. After a 12-year sabbatical, she's back, but here's the beauty of it. She's not back alone. She's come back with her whole family, her 4 kids, her husband, all part of the album. Maybe just to your fans who've missed you and maybe who's trying to play catch up with you, what's your message to them in terms of maybe coming back to support you on this journey?
Thank you for the support. I feel like a new artist altogether.
I'm breaking up.
I feel like, because I've been now asking around, I'm asking the others, so what do we do? How do I do this? And technology has moved so much. So we look forward to your support. Please keep on coming to the inbox and directing and saying, hey, Dudu, why don't you do that? Why don't you go to that other platform? And linking us up again. I think that's one of the things that we would want done. And we like you to buy the music online. And when you see a concert coming up, there are a couple of them coming up, please come and support, and let's see how it goes. We are so excited.
Yeah. And are you available on social media? How do people get in touch with you?
All the tags, Dudu Manhenga, but on TikTok, it's Royal D1. So yeah.
Oh, so, you've caught up. If you're talking about TikTok, you've caught up. Blessing, just quickly before we go, just maybe in 20 seconds, just how proud are you of Dudu and your family in terms of this body of work that you've been able to put together as Vantage?
Wow, there's never anything that I would ask for from the Lord apart from being blessed with such an amazing woman who's strong in her character and who's focused and loving and caring, and also with the kids who are also following the steps of being well cultured. We pray for that. It keeps on going into the next generation.
Konapo, Ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.